guys, what's going on? Welcome, happy hump day.
What it do, what it is.
Hope you guys are doing well. We just got done recording an episode for y'all for Halloween. What are you missing, your pen?
Yeah, I probably left it in the kitchen. But it was quite a scary episode.
Quite a scary episode.
Oh, I threw it away. I'm tripping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even the tank?
No.
Oh, okay.
I got it in my pocket. Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Oh boy.
We were talking about Pluto Aquarius and how spooky it is, the ingress. So.
Yeah. Kind of scary, just in time for Halloween.
What a time to be alive. The end of the literal world. That's interesting.
And it's before the eclipses, so we still don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah. Interesting time. I anticipated that tonight was going to be busy. Mm-hmm. Because so many people are like, oh my god, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
We're going to be doing, can you hear me?
Me?
I don't think I did a mic check.
Uh-oh.
Let me make sure my boob's on. Hold on. Okay, is that better?
Boom check, 1, 2,
1, 2, 1, 2. Please pull up to the next window. Okay, I'm on now. Yeah, I know. I should have turned it on. Sorry. It's been a day. So we're going to be doing live readings. You guys like the mashup, so we're going to be doing tarot and astrology. You guys can scan the QR code right down here if you want to make a donation. $20 for one tarot card. $40 for 3 tarot cards, or you can ask one astrology question for $50. And you could join our memberships too for $50, and you can support the channel, and you can get a reading every single month.
The boob is on now.
The boob's on.
Get it. Yeah. On boob. Action.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to do tarot and astrology. We've already got like a handful of people who are already in the queue. Shout out to
All that's missing is
Skin.
You. Shout out to Velvet Skin, yes.
We'll get you next week. We hope your sister's okay. Sorry to hear you couldn't make the live, but we got you.
Got you.
And yeah, if anybody's level 3 who wants to get a reading, let us know. I know Jessica Martinez is in the chat. What's up? Nice to see you. And everybody else who's here, sorry for the delay. We were taking a little bit longer to film the last podcast. And yeah, you want to do some readings?
Let's do it. That's what I was forgetting to say, but I remember now. Let's rock, paper, scissors for who starts.
Oh, you want to go there?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, is it rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
Yeah.
You shoot.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
No gun, huh?
Wait, 2 out of 3?
Oh.
Or are we just doing 1?
I was gonna do 1, but we
okay. I mean, you're confident. You're confident. Clearly, you're confident. You're not ready for this Kai Bow action right now.
I'm confident.
Little do you know, I was the rock, paper, scissors reigning champ in my 20s. So the way that our friends and I used to handle who was going to be the DD is you had to rock, paper, scissors, and whoever lost was the designated driver for the evening and couldn't drink. I was like undefeated for about 9 months, and everybody was like, "Fuck you," and I'd be like,
"I'm drinking
pulled around the front." Just pulled around the front.
All right, we're gonna have to do 2, 3 then. I just have to...
Okay.
All right.
Ready? Yeah. Shoot. You gotta shoot. Okay, let's go. I'm done. Okay. I'm done. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fuck you. But you said you wanted to go for 3, but I'll let you have that. So since you won, you want me to go first? Okay, I'm gonna go first. Got it. He didn't define the rules before we get started, so I had to do that.
I'm gonna use my psychic powers.
Okay. I saw you. You hesitated at the end. You hesitated. You were like, "Am I gonna really go for 2 rocks?" And at the last moment, you were like, "Paper." I know. Yeah. I saw it happening.
Yeah, she did.
All right, whatever. So let's go ahead and take who's first. We'll start with our level 3 members. Thank you guys, those of you guys who are level 3. If you want to get in and get your reading for the month, now's a really good time to do it. We may be back one more time. We'll see. So we'll start with Jessica, because Jessica Martinez, thank you for your generous donation and being a member. We appreciate you. Let's go ahead and take a look, because it looks like you have a question for Shannon, OG, and you in regards to how the year will close out for us in business. Okay. Would you like me to look at the composite chart, or do you want me to look at your synastry, or do you want me to look at you guys separate? Just let me know. If you want me to look at them each separately, I can, or I can pull your guys' composite and tell you what business looks like together. People like the interactive games on the channel. I've noticed that. We need to bring the buzzers back.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah?
I hope I get lucky again. We'll see.
With the buzzer?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do like some like crazy, I don't know, it has to be more than just that. It has to be,
Yeah, I feel you.
it's got to be like aspects or something.
Yeah, that'd be
take it?
dope. Guess that moon sign. We could probably do that.
I like to play that game in public.
Guess the moon sign?
I like to play the moon sign and the Mars sign.
I like that.
Yeah, when
Okay.
people watch.
That's definitely harder.
Okay, let's start with Jessica Martinez, and well, if it's gonna be for business for both of you guys, let's do both of them.
Okay.
Jessica. There she is, and then we've got Shannon. Here's a quiz for you guys who are watching right now. Can you guess what we were drinking on the podcast today? You'll never guess. Let's see if they can guess.
Let's see.
Why am I not finding Shannon in here? There we go. Is that it? Shannon?
No, never guess.
Is Shannon not in here? Okay, gotta add Shannon.
Oh,
928.67.
water. That makes me think of how unhealthy I may be.
6:48 p.m. So somebody in the production crew thought it was a good idea to bring home an entire case of hard Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gone from drinking 12-year aged single barrel scotch to drinking hard Mountain Dew. So no, the bottle's almost gone. I asked him when he walked in, I said, do you want to be classy or do you want to be trashy?
You know what I chose.
He went trashy. Only the finest.
Original flavor.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got Shannon. There we go. So Shannon and Jessica Martinez, thanks for your patience. Sorry, guys. So this is your composite chart together. Taurus rising, 24 degrees, sun in Scorpio. Holy cow, there's going to be an eclipse over there near your south node. And your moon is in Cancer. Hard Mountain Dew. I first found Hard Mountain Dew 4 months ago, and I found out they were only selling it in Kentucky and Florida. And I was like, why can we not get this here? And then we saw it in the store, we got a tall boy, and I was like, let's just try it. And then magically, the entire pack, it's like regular watermelon, Baja Blast, which I think is kind of funny, because I remember being like 23 years old and like buying a Baja Blast and like drinking half of it and pouring like Bacardi in it and making my own hard Mountain Dew. Because that's super trashy. Or like, I don't know, Malibu. It's gross.
Malibu.
White girls like that stuff.
Bacardi, okay.
Yeah. Okay, back to Shannon and Jessica Martinez.
Taurus rising.
This is your composite chart, and holy smokes, is your chart getting
eclipsed up.
Yeah, so you have got your business 10th house is Aquarius, so Saturn's actually getting ready to go direct in your 10th house. Really significant. You're finally out of like Saturn square the node, Saturn square your composite sun. It's come out of Saturn square Mercury and Mars. Now you're just going to see Saturn square Jupiter. So you're having to work together.
I hate to interrupt you, but
yeah.
Given what they do, it's a great period to be known in your community, which I think both of you are coming into notoriety. And when Saturn was on Will Smith's MC, he got his only Oscar. He got banned for 10 years, but he got his only Oscar.
It was bittersweet.
Yeah.
So. It was the slap heard around the world. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's some Libra shit.
Followed up by the most Libra shit ever. I did it for love. And people were like, yes.
Jada's fucking lying punk ass.
I mean, it is what it is. She's on trial for being canceled right now. But I don't know. Shout out to Jada. It is what it is. You know, I see personally with this 10th house status thing, both of you.
Oh, I thought I won the losing moment to be able to do the reading. You do the reading?
No,
You
no,
can take
no,
it.
no, no.
You can take it.
No. I just wanted to share this.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh shit! I was about to go on a roll. You got me too.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to talk about the 10th house.
Because it is the Midheaven podcast. It's the most important.
Midheaven.
It's the most important thing.
You
guys need to stop giving me Mountain Dew because I'm gonna be in the front yard, like screaming with a Mountain Dew in my hand.
Yup. Yo. That'd be a good music video.
Oh my goodness.
Midheaven
Okay.
podcast music video coming
I want to
soon.
hear about your 10th house Saturn rant.
Basically, you're coming into accolades, and I just see this as like in Houston or the town you're around being recognized, maybe even nationally.
No!
Oh!
No!
Shit. Which one do you want? The cherry?
I don't know. It's watermelon.
Watermelon.
I feel like that could like be either really good or really bad.
I got watermelon Arizona iced tea just for the fuck of it yesterday. So even though Baja Blast is my shit, I feel like I'm gonna just take one for the team.
It's sugar free too. So it's like, what's in this? We don't even know what's in this. You don't know what's in this. All right. Clink clink. So far we have one for watermelon. The Baja Blast is good. I feel like this is dangerous though. You drink a couple of these and it's pretty much like a Four Loko. It's not a good situation.
It's just at least it doesn't have the taste of alcohol, which I don't
Liquid
mind.
cancer.
Let's get it.
I think honestly, like Mike would know best because he's had the Saturn transit. Saturn's been going back and forth, doing its thing in his 10th house.
And I've been viewed 10 million times on my YouTube. So that's like...
And he's the highest rated astrologist, according to Google, on the internet in the Las Vegas area. And apparently he's open 24 hours a day. I'm like, what is this? Some fucking fast food astrology readings?
It's a crack house.
I saw that and I was like, what kind of an operation is he running here?
It's a crack house. That's the operation.
And who you said somebody did that for you too, right?
Shout out to Derek Esco. Holla at him if you want SEO. He will hook you up.
My goodness. Tinder Hot XYZ has entered the chat.
Ooh.
There will be no soliciting here.
Ooh.
You pay us.
But.
Okay, so I'm gonna add this to my cup. So Saturn's in your 10th house, right? And basically it's getting ready to go direct. So you're gonna experience Saturn come back to 24 degrees and it's gonna square the ascendant and the descendant, which is bringing up the fact that you guys have to work together. It's encouraging you also as it squares Jupiter to just like communicate, share, help one another, like bring people together in your community. When it comes out of that square, which will be closer to the new year, so it's got to pass 24 degrees, then you're going to feel like come February, like, whatever we've been building and working is really setting up. You're also going to see that it's going to start, you're going to start seeing basically trines happening between, the moons. You're going to see Jupiter square the moon. You're going to see Saturn start coming into a trine with your moon. Obviously, Venus is your ruler, so something else that's worthy of kind of mentioning is that this eclipse that we're about to have, it's going to be right on top of your south node. So a solar eclipse on your south node that's in your 6th house makes me feel like you guys are getting organized, coming up with a schedule, like sticking to it, thinking about hiring people and how you can expand in that sense, and like just being on the up and up with like working with each other every day. That's going to be around October 24th. I mean, a solar eclipse on your south node, it's preparing you for your nodal return, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's a solar eclipse, so it's action-oriented. It's also going to be about getting active, being of service, clearing out anything for the both of you that's hindering your schedules or your health or anything that's limiting you guys in terms of being able to get work done. that eclipse is going to be in play for until the south node hits your natal south node, next year. And also when you see that kind of finalize, when there's going to be some full moons taking place there in 2024. So it's time to get organized, come up with a schedule. And then you're going to have the second eclipse that's going to be on the 8th. That's going to sit basically in direct opposition to both your Mercury and your Mars. So it's going to show you where it's like you guys are having to push each other, and like sometimes there can be friction, especially because you're going to have an eclipse between the 1st, 7th, and a square to the 10th. And it's like how you guys learn through challenges what your friendship is made of, or your business relationship is made of, or like what you basically like overcome, and you have to put your heads together because Saturn's going to be the focal point of that square. Thankfully, it's going to sextile your moon. And I feel like that's just pushing you guys to communicate through things that are uncomfortable or things that you don't know how to talk about.
Yeah. And
the South Node's also coming for your guys' sun. So that tells me that, like, you're going to realize, like, we can't work and live in the same place. We're having a bigger operation. We need to move to another space. We need a center. We need to be, like, working with other people. We can't be running things out of the house. So you might feel like you actually need an office. Right?
Oh, yeah, especially with the eclipse unlocking. Like, that's going to really transform the relationship.
Uranus is still opposing your Mercury and your Mars.
It's like you're defining and unlocking the strength of the
you guys are each other's, like, little cheerleaders, too. Like, there's something going on where you guys are, like, cheering each other on and being like, hey, we've got this. Like, both of you guys are kind of going through things separately, and you're having to encourage each other and holding each other accountable.
And he handles the social realm. You expand that collectively to the world. So both of you are really bringing more into play the supernatural with the work you're doing. Because that Uranus opposition to your composite Uranus is really awesome. So it's really transforming the society around. And it's nice to see the development of this movement y'all are doing from inception. Because this is going to now, moving forward, grow into something greater. Like Saturn going through the 10th is the responsibility of having to lead this community. So congratulations, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, keep talking through it. Watch for the second eclipse, and I think with the South Node, it's clearing stuff out, getting out of your own way. And Venus will conjunct your guys' Uranus, which means there's going to be a sudden opportunity for breakthrough with help, like within, like kind of getting the second space set up, or money. Know what I'm saying? So it looks good. Thank you for your generous donation. All the best to Shannon.
Soup.
Okay, so we got Lindsay. Oh, here you go.
No problem.
Where's the second one? It's Jessica. Oh, I guess it's gone now. Okay, Lindsay. There we go. Oh no, there's still 2 charts. Shoot. Not that one. Where's Shannon? There it is. Okay, so we've got Lindsay here. August 10th, 82, 11:25 p.m. in Houston, Texas.
Beautiful.
Lindsay says, reading for tonight's live. And hold on, let's see. Did she send a question?
Leo sun. Yeah, she asked a very important question. I think about...
Oh, here we go. Question, I am looking for a jackpot to be independent to get out of a current baby daddy situation. Good dates for business. Ooh.
It's kind of ironic you're saying that because the jackpot is literally Jupiter going through your rising and coming onto your second house in Taurus.
With an eclipse.
With the eclipse. So that's going to be the jackpot period. The being trapped with your baby daddy is the 12th house energy. And this whole rest of this year and coming into next year is going to be a transition process out of the past 12 years of your life so that you can step into the next 12-year chapter. And then, of course, by May of 2023, skip that with the eclipse square Pluto, which is going to be snazzy. But
look at that.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Jupiter opposite that too. So you are creating this jackpot. Like this new 12-year cycle is the independence, the radical independence with the eclipse in your first second that you're manifesting to step into a new identity, which people may call you crazy for, but you're really a genius for pioneering before other people can see what's happening. But that's what you really want to embrace, because coming out of the 12th, it can feel like things are falling apart. It can feel like you don't know what you're doing with your life. when this happened to me, I didn't know I was going to become the peace dealer. Like I thought I was going to be a preacher, a theologian. So this is a period that you want to surrender, but you want to know that on the other side is the promised land. And I love that you asked the question the way you asked, because it's almost as if you know you're about to step into independence. And now this is setting up business shortly after April and May, because your second house as a Taurus is 10th house as your Leo sun. So you're manifesting this career independence. And as such, everything as a part of November, the rest of October and all of November is going to set the foundation to complete the career success that you'll complete in May. So from November to May are all the dates you want to just keep pushing forward to, but post May is where it's all going to be real and it's going to evolve, and you're going to have the income that you may feel like you don't have now, you will have then post April, if not before, moving you forward, which is really awesome to see because of how specific your question is, and as a Taurus moon, how this is just going to skyrocket you forward.
I'm really curious what you're thinking about doing, like work-wise. I mean, you're ruled by Mars, so when transits happen to your natal Mars, like big stuff goes down. You and I have the same Mars, 4 degrees Scorpio. I would advise you to go and look at your Mars return that you had last year and see what it looks like. And the fact that you're getting ready to have an eclipse conjunct your Mars, right, which is going to be at the end of this month on the 24th, 25th, you're going to have Venus and an eclipse happening on your Mars, which is your chart ruler. So Mars doesn't just rule your ascendant, Mars also rules your whole sign 8th. Your 7th house is your marketplace. Scorpio is sexy, but it also deals with finances, loans, mortgages, taxes. So I'm wondering, like, do you go and get licensed to do taxes, or do you go and get licensed to talk to people about mortgages or lending or anything in regards to qualifying for that stuff? Or it could be that you take on a business partner after this eclipse. Like, this eclipse might bring in a business partner and a new relationship, but it'll bring in a business partner with somebody who can help you grow and bring in more clients and bring in more money. So depending on what it is that you want to do, I could see job changes for you with the Mercury retrograde in January, and I think that a lot of this is going to be coming full circle when there's an eclipse on your ascendant involving the moon, which tells me that you're getting ready to launch something, like Mike said, in the spring. Yeah, Scorpio is detoxing, but for you, don't accept any food from anybody else, don't have sex with anybody else, Mars things, right? And just be very mindful of like conflict, no conflict around the time of the eclipse because it's your 7th house. But that eclipse is protected because it has Venus. So it has your 7th house Lord there. So it's planting a seed for you moving forward to bring in what is going to be like new opportunities for anything. If you're a mom, then it's going to be bringing in clients. It's going to be opening up your market space. I think it's also going to be about your vision and what you're putting out there. Right? High-end clientele can be Scorpio. It's people who have money, but it's people who you have to kind of like bring in.
Yeah.
Power trading, I think it'll be a change in that also. Cool. Yeah, I could see that, but I think that with Mars and Jupiter, you have a wealth of information to offer other people about how to make money and like resources. That's just some like really big energy with Mars and Jupiter in conjunction.
Yep. And then you'll have the Saturn opposition after the Jupiter opposition, so...
But yeah, you want to plant seeds after the eclipse. Hopefully that's helpful for you. So we have got now, so we did this one, magic. Oh no, that was her, okay. So now we've got, we did Jessica, Melissa.
Beautiful.
Melissa says, should I break up with gambling?
I moved to Vegas from El Paso, by the way. I used to live, my mom has a practice out there on Mesa, 1900 Mesa, Akai Pediatrics. That's my mom's practice. I live like right by UTEP in El Paso High, or I used to. So shout out to you. I know you in El Paso. I hope you're enjoying it out there. It's a lot different now.
What's up, Kiki?
Cancer rising.
Should she break up with gambling?
Duh.
I mean, she's got Jupiter Uranus in the 5th.
You want to gamble in a different way. because you're already lucky. So maybe you don't have to gamble. You can change the way you gamble.
Oh, you know why she's asking that? It's the Mars eclipse.
Yeah.
The Scorpio eclipse in the 5th.
You might be gambling with childbirth too. Be careful.
We all take risks in this life. It's not just that.
And you a Capricorn. That's interesting.
What's her Mars like? Mars is in Aquarius. Saturn has been in conjunction to Mars.
Yeah.
You have a slight Mars-Saturn square. I feel like Saturn's been going back and forth over your Mars for the last year and a half, bringing up whether or not like you can fund the gambling, because the 8th house can be money owed. You know.
Plus, you're a supernatural Capricorn, so like, I've seen Capricorns rig casino games. You're gonna probably learn that you'll have more control over when to gamble, because as a Cap Sun, you do have time powers. So it's gonna really break through after Pluto leaves your sign.
I kind of feel inclined to tell you, obviously this is just my astrological opinion. Obviously, if you feel like you need to, you can. Like, it's a good time to do it with the solar eclipse to cut a bad habit. The solar eclipse for a Cancer rising is in the whole sign 5th with Venus. So it's saying like putting that in the past and like investing your time and your energy into something else. I'm looking at Jupiter trine your Jupiter right now. And I think with Jupiter in your 9th house, I'm not going to tell you where to gamble, but if you're going further away to gamble, you're likely going to do better, because Jupiter wants you to go to other places and, you know, go further away. So if you're like going to somewhere consistently that's close by, maybe like planning trips that are not going to be as often and doing it in other parts of the city or in other cities.
Yeah.
Jupiter does rule like habits and patterns, so the fact that Jupiter is in a trine with Jupiter doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying, go to Atlantic City, you're going to win a lot of money. Like, you might with that Jupiter trine if you have to get on an airplane. But it also can bring up the fact that if you feel like you have a problem with gambling, you're going to see it more often.
Sunland Park Casino has been giving me money. Yeah, and that's in New Mexico. So I feel I'm pushing it. See, that's the thing, especially as a Capricorn woman, like, y'all have this power over gambling. Like, I've seen a 1990 Capricorn win $5,000 here in Vegas from a slot machine 3 times in a row. And I got it because she has Neptune, Uranus, and you know, Neptune on Saturn on her sun. So like, she tried to play it off like it was luck. But even back in the day, Aquarians and Capricorns would just go to the casinos that I know and just like win stuff when they needed to.
I have Venus, Uranus. I like to pick out slot machines.
Right, in Capricorn.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to pick out my slot machines.
That's probability manipulation.
Yeah.
Which is lit. So you are pushing it. You feel like you're pushing it because you are pushing it. You got the moon in Taurus. But the thing is, you're going to realize you have more control over, like, after this eclipse, you're not going to have to rely on luck. So it's no longer going to be gambling. It's going to be manifestation. You're the natural director. So the question is, you do want to give up on gambling, but you're not going to see it as gambling anymore. You're going to be able to tune into your own soul to know when is the right time to play and when the right time not to is. And it's no longer gambling. It's just basically finessing the casino.
I think I wouldn't give this up until Jupiter is out of a trine.
Yeah, I believe
I can give you some good days to gamble if that's going to help.
She's legit.
I gamble on days that I know there's good transits.
She's legit. Yeah. I've seen her, like, I've seen the internet cut off here and her look up the chart and be like, it's going to come back at this second in this minute. I was like, okay. And it did. Exactly. I didn't doubt her, right? But I was like, oh my God, that's wild.
November 14th and 15th are good days. And then when Jupiter goes back into Aries and when Jupiter is in a trine with Jupiter, and maybe you get like Venus thrown in there, you can be gambling again right around the end of December. And I would also say when Mars or Venus are in aspect to your Jupiter, you'll get something. So Venus is going to trine your Jupiter February 20th, and then Venus will conjunct Jupiter and trine Uranus around the end of February. So those are the dates that I would recommend. And maybe like when Mars goes into Leo and it trines, but you're going to lose the trine from Jupiter. But those are better days if that's something that you want to do. And also, if you're going to gamble, you got to take like your little mojo bag. You gotta take your lucky dice and your rabbit's foot, and you gotta put the Hoyt's cologne on it, and you gotta smoke it and put the $2 bill, the mercury dime in there. You gotta have your sack, your mojo rolling, right? I don't know what they call it, but.
See, you legit.
Yeah, you're supposed to blow whiskey on it, and you put a magnet in there with like magnetic sand. I have a whole like thing. Like if I go, best believe that's in my purse or my fanny pack. I like to like sit there and wear a visor and like gamble at like 9 in the morning when like all the drunk people are still rolling in, and just like sit there and chain smoke with my fanny pack and just like judge everyone. No. I remember being like 23 years old going to Vegas and doing that, and all my friends were like raging, and I was like, I'm gonna go play the tables because people are drunk and they're not gonna gamble well, and that's how you make money. Ooh. You sit at the far end of the table with like drunk people who are playing cards.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's genius.
It's the only way.
Nice. Okay.
Good luck. Hopefully you make some money.
Oh, she'll be good. She got precaution. She'll be good.
So I put whiskey on my sack. It didn't go well.
Oh my God.
Fuck. Okay, so we have now got Ada. Thank you.
Ada, there we go.
Ada, what is your question? We got your info.
We know Ada's born in 84. She's a pure queen gangster with Saturn on the rising. So the South Node is unlocking your personality to manifest innovative partnerships that match up to your pure judgmental social personality. Because you don't need weak bitchs who hold you back. And I'm not really being sarcastic. You bring a lot to the table in a relationship. Like you're a Kundalini goddess with the Pluto Uranus. You got the Pluto Saturn on the rising. And this is really highlighting how much value you bring into relationships. So it's really dope knowing that your moon is in Taurus, because you actually, as a Sagittarius sun, natural ascension, manifest the unconventional nature of this light magic. The last Scorpio rising Sag sun that I met was one of the most magical people ever, because we have opposite suns and risings. So I was like, oh yeah, with my second house Gemini, I wrote down on a piece of paper that I'll get a notification for $40 in 2 minutes, and in 2 minutes I got a notification on my online shop for $40. She's like, that's crazy. I lit a candle and I got an $80,000 contract. I was like, I'm so jealous. Fucking Sagittarius, like, y'all do this, anything you can do, I can do it. But like, it's freaking lit because Sagittarius is ascended, and that was how she manifested in the second house. So you got Uranus there. So this innovative quality is now in Taurus. You're understanding how to integrate the ascended nature of how you manifest so much more seamlessly, and integrate that into your partnerships with other people and facilitate, because you were born with the North Node in Taurus, this nodal completion. So unlike most other Scorpio risings going through this, you have this unconventional, supernatural, ascended perspective. Just like as a Taurus rising, I have an enlightened perspective. You have an ascended perspective where you can go full third eye mode and just claircognizantly shock and terrify people with your death stare Scorpio rising personality that makes you more psychic than sometimes you want to be. So that's really interesting, knowing that you have Jupiter second house too. You're carving out awakening so much greater wealth. Saturn on your IC is establishing greater autonomy when it comes to really anchoring more the independence in your home and working from home. So everything is really set to innovate your partnerships relative to how much more creatively you've evolved your inner child, and Jupiter will get ready from 2024 to evolve your partnerships, marking 6 years of personal development since 2018. With Jupiter evolving your actual personality in 2019, your spirit. And I'm not sure exactly what your question is, but relative to transits moving forward, you're pretty Gucci, my friend. This is all geared towards taking the fullness of you and manifesting partnerships that add value to who you are and what you're doing. So it's a lot
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Saturn transit through the fourth in general is not easy, but the fact that it's squaring your natal Saturn, your nodes, and your moon, it's kind of showing you like where you can really kind of clear out the past history and the karma of like your family and your lineage, and like learn new ways of being able to work with other people. Because I can see with Saturn in opposition to your moon, there's like this theme of like separation and loss, or tough times with family, or like not being able to emotionally relate always to others, or like feeling like you need space. So the Saturn square is going through there and kind of showing you like you can't do it all by yourself. Like you're going to have some things that are going to come up where you're going to need to ask for help. And then as Saturn comes out of the square with the nodes and out of the square with your moon, you're going to realize that this has totally unearthed a bunch of things, so that way you learn to ask for help and you're bringing partnerships into your life that are really going to enrich things and help you create new karma.
Thank you.
So it's that's one hell of a transit with that fixed T square. But people who have fixed squares, or it's squares in general, I'm not going to say it's one sign or the other, but squares in general and T squares show a great deal of focus and emphasis. And what I can see is that although you have frustration with other people, Mars in a square to your moon and also Saturn tells me that you're a really great negotiator. You know how to fight for what you believe in and how to communicate and express yourself, and that through communication, like, relationships are possible.
Beautiful.
Really cool. So interesting to see people go through those squares.
Yeah.
Not easy. Okay, so we have got, was that Ada, right? So we have Michelle.
And then 2 more people.
So Michelle, June 17th, 85. I leave it to you to tell me what's up. Anything major, what to look out for. You're the best. Sorry, it doesn't let you clear that out for some reason.
No, that was my fault. I picked someone else on accident. Okay. Gemini.
19 degrees Virgo rising. You've got Pluto square your nodes. Hi, hello.
10th house Gemini sun, the Gemini role model.
Oh my goodness. I'm very fascinated by the fact that Mars is basically going to retrograde just short of your sun. It's close enough. It's within a degree. But the day that Mars stations retrograde, something very significant may happen. And I've seen this for Gemini risings and Gemini suns. So Mars is your 8th house lord of transformation. It's going to retrograde on your sun, ruler of the 12th house. Watch for something that significantly shifts in regards to your career right around Halloween. As Mars goes retrograde on your sun, you may become aware of something, that there's some change at work or in direction in terms of like your career, or you realize that like something's not working and that you need to make a change. Sun rules your 12th house, so it could be like private meetings or maybe a therapy session, or you have a secret conversation with somebody about what you're actually planning on building and like transforming in terms of your professional life. That's big. And gotta love that Sun opposed Uranus. Nobody's gonna tell you what to do, huh? So as Mars goes back and forth in opposition to Uranus, you're like, I'm making changes, I'm changing my schedule, changing my health, changing my work. Like, you're going to start telling people what's up, especially as it squares Jupiter and it squares Neptune in your 7th. Probably the people who are going to have the most challenging time with the Mars retrograde will be Virgo risings and people who have any personal placements in Gemini.
Yeah.
Because Mars is going to make you have lack of energy and vitality, you're going to kind of lose the wind in your sails a little bit. And with all the mutable squares that are going down, the focal point really is going to be, I think, Jupiter and Neptune in your 7th, and where you need really good counselors, you need good guidance, you need people who are going to be helping you move through the fog. Whether that's a career counselor, a therapist, an astrologer.
Changing the direction of her career, too.
You need somebody who's going to help you figure out the vision, because vision is shot to shit when you have Jupiter-Neptune conjunctions. And be careful, because not all people are going to steer you in the correct direction.
True that.
I would really look into the Mars retrograde, and I also think that something very significant is happening as you're starting to see that Pluto is now finally getting ready to work its way out of a square to your nodes.
And moon.
That tells me there's a huge breakthrough that's happening with your heart space creatively, possibly. I wonder if you're like, it's time to be self-employed. You're like, I'm sick of working for other people. Fuck this. I need to go and do my own thing as Pluto squares the nodes, and you're willing to override fear of not having enough money, which is a fear for you because you got South Node Moon in the 2nd house. You worry about resources But Pluto's coming in being like, we're going to use your heart space to kind of really keep telling you over and over, don't worry about the resources, focus on doing your own thing.
Or pushing a business to the next level too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also cool.
I would definitely be listening to like videos on Virgo rising and also the Mars retrograde. Mm-hmm. We did some videos on that, but I would go and listen to it because it's going to be, you're going to have a hard time having clarity. So ask other people for help or get a reading, like sit down and talk to an astrologer and be like, what's the play-by-play for the next, 4 or 5 months as I'm navigating these retrogrades. Look at what's happened the last time in 2020 and 2021. We had Mercury retrogrades, Venus retrogrades, eclipses through your 10th house. Look at what was going on in those times and what you were realizing needed to change. Likely, it goes hand in hand with making a job change or a change in your home. Beautiful. Okay, we've got Lucky, so it's new. And that is October 7th, 1993. 9:05 p.m. And is that Bonaire, Georgia? Bonaire. Cool. What is your question? Going through my Saturn return, kicking my ass. Do I have a future as an astrologer? And how do I navigate my Venus chart ruler being next to Chiron?
Do you have a future as an astrologer? Sir, it is your karma. Or ma'am. It's ma'am! Yeah, it is your karma.
Do you think that's a thing? Do you think people who are astrologers like have it karmically?
Well, I just know anything Aquarius related is astrology. So karma is Saturn, Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn return. She has an MC in Aquarius. It's your legacy. So you're meant to teach astrology. I have my MC in the 9th as a Taurus rising, and I'm known for teaching about the stars. You have your MC in the 9th in Aquarius, so you're going to be known for teaching about knowledge, whether astrology is science, so you're going to teach science, whether astrology, biology. So Saturn here means that your karma is to be a dean. The knowledge that you're going to research, young Pharaoh, Dr. Shiva, the creator of email, like these are well-researched, knowledgeable people. Once again, Will Smith was a Gemini rising who got his Oscar during this period. So I love that question you asked because it is definitely a huge and very important advent of this legacy you're kicking off right now. The difficulty of the Saturn return in your 9th, 10th house delays higher education, your relationship with your father, but this is going to break you through and set you for life here. MC in Aquarius is the strongest MC. It's a really, really, really good look. Everyone who has that, if you type in celebrities with MC in Aquarius in Google and look up the Astro Theme article, Dr. Dre, Matthew McConaughey, Amy Winehouse, Miley Cyrus, Will Smith, these people don't fall off. Like you...
Amy Winehouse definitely fell off.
I mean, she died.
Sorry, I had to be the one to say it.
She died. It don't count. And she died.
Keep in mind.
She died a goat. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're not gonna mention that. It's all good. But the ones who are alive, okay, they are holding it down. And you have Saturn there, so you have authority to be known in the way you're gonna be known. So go through the difficulty. You're gonna be straight. You got your moon in Cancer. It's gonna feel excruciating, but you have the sun in Libra. So this is helping you really teach you're gonna be someone who teaches everything you're good at doing.
Saturn trine Jupiter too. It's just
just
a fact, okay?
The person who I'm giving a solar return to is a Libra born 93.
I feel like you don't really know what you want to be when you grow up until after your Saturn return.
That's how it was
anyway.
for me. That's how it was for me. Yeah.
Going into my Saturn return, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm done. I was done. I was so angry. I was done. That's why I got off YouTube.
No wonder.
But then during my Saturn return, something clicked and I was like, I can't create the content and do the readings. Like I have to like fall in love with astrology again and like ended up doing other programs and stuff. So I feel like until your Saturn matures and maybe we start seeing like Saturn sextile Saturn and other things, sure, totally. And you're gonna have Pluto go through your 10th house for like the next 20 years.
Listen, don't let anyone fuck with you. I just told you who I thought I was. A god. And the last person said that had Jupiter on his sun. You're an angel, my friend. You are a holy artist. As an angel, you carry the vibration of holy balance. So kick ass, take names, run towards those challenges because they're going to establish everything you know. And your knowledge is centered around your inner child and the knowledge of your talents. So everything you're good at doing, you should teach to the world because we need to know it. And thank you in advance because you got that soul power.
Magic Lotus is saying she wasn't sure she missed her reading, but we definitely did this reading.
No, we didn't. We skipped it.
Didn't this one? Sustainable business growth.
I think that's the one. That's the one.
No, it's the other one.
That's the one we thought was skipped, but we didn't do Elise. The Magic Lotus. We skipped her because we thought that was the Velvet.
Yeah, but I remember. I mean, you can pull up her chart. I remember looking at her chart because we don't have the info here. We don't have it.
Wait, let me see. No, we definitely didn't. We definitely skipped her. Because you pulled it up and then we thought it was Velvet, so we didn't do it. But we did put it in her chart.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get that one and I'll get Joseph.
So her question was... Let me pull this back up. Thanks, Magic. Solar eclipse reading. How can I best use this energy for sustainable business? I want to attract high-end clientele and launch a class this winter.
To answer your question, by the way, Lucky, Chiron in Virgo is going to speak of overcoming with Jupiter that opposed it and Saturn 2023 that opposed it. This very maybe OCD-like analytical sensitivity towards criticism. And as a Libra sun, it's 12th house to you. So it's going to help you indirectly through your discernment of body language, highlight hidden enemies. And people's who constructive criticism helps you, and people's whose criticism is not constructive, they want to hurt you. So that's what your Chiron helps you flesh out and through.
And it's not close enough to Venus to really, I mean, it's in the same sign, but it's not close enough to Venus to have the kind of impact that maybe you would think it would.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's asking about attracting high-end clientele, launching a class this winter. So you're a Libra rising.
Sun is on the rising right now.
You've got eclipses that's going on still in your 2nd and also your 8th house. So attracting other people is more so relating to your 7th, your marketplace, which is ruled by Mars. And for the next couple of months, you're going to see Mars go retrograde in Gemini. It's actually on your Venus right now. So this is interesting because technically you have Venus that's in the 8th house. It doesn't look like it, but it is. So Mars, other people, is going to retrograde over your Venus, you. And you're going to start thinking about, how can I connect with other people? How can I drum up more business? What's going to attract others? Do I invest a little bit of money into advertising? Do I, put more focus in pumping up prices? I could see Mars going retrograde through your 8th is like realizing that you need more for what you're getting or what you're putting out there. And Mars is going to go back and forth in opposition to your natal Uranus. So it's about being creative and kind of inventive. Maybe looking at what you've done in the past and shaking things up. Maybe sending out, I think with like Mars being retrograde in the 8th, like sending out an email blast to people being like, hey, I'm back. This is what I'm doing. If you guys want to hop on and if you want to get on early, maybe you issue people a deal. And you might find that you're bringing in clients and people who have taken classes in the past and, they're coming back. So I would say send out a newsletter and like blast it out and let everybody know. Do that right around the time Mars is stationing. I mean, you've got between now and the 30th. So you've got about, 10 days. Pluto's in a square with your nodes also. So that's, to me, kind of screaming like there's something getting ready to break through. Especially in your 3rd house, it's about like some new media project or new website or new social media or something that you're putting out there so people can see what you're doing. High-end money, like ballers, like you don't really have to worry about that. You're going to have Jupiter going through your 7th house next year and also into your 8th house. So you're going to find that you're going to be bringing in wealthier clients, but like what the eclipses are teaching you in the 2nd and the 8th house is literally like you're only going to get paid as much as you think that you're worth. So there's a difference between putting something out there and somebody being like, what do you charge? And you're like, oh, I don't know, like whatever you think, or, it's sliding scale, or this is the bare minimum. I'd be like, it's going to be $200 for this course or this class. And you're going to be like, and it's worth it. So it's about believing in that and like really owning it and like believing that you're giving enough content to justify kind of pushing those prices up. And you need to also think about the fact that you're investing money into your business and you're investing money into advertising. So that's got to factor into ultimately what you're charging for your services, you know? Solar eclipse that you're having in Scorpio, that's going to be taking place pretty soon. Technically, that's your whole sign second. It's going to be really close to your Pluto. I think it's a good time to do something like magically to kind of set the stage to be like, I'm bringing more people in because Pluto in your first house can attract others and Venus will be there. So putting it out there and letting everybody know like, hey, I've got this new thing. It's this new hot ticket, this new hot class. You know, I'm going to teach you how to do X, Y, and Z, which you're luring people in, right? And telling them how you can help them bring in more abundance or help bring in more business or kind of grow in whatever it is that they're learning. So I feel like that's setting the stage for the next 6 months. You know, Venus conjunct Pluto can be massive wealth and people who are really drawn to you. So I think it's time for some sexy new headshots, something that's like black, sheer, still professional, but something that's kind of alluring. Putting those out or attaching that new image to also what you're doing is going to also draw people in because, you know, Venus and Pluto is kind of sexy.
Beautiful.
Hopefully that's helpful for you. Thanks for your patience.
Joseph.
So we have Joseph. I think he might be in there. Maybe.
I didn't see him.
No? Okay.
I thought he was in there, though.
He's 10/11/1990,
Yee.
3:55 a.m.
1990, 3:55
a.m.
Okay.
in Royal Oak, Michigan. You're welcome, Lotus. Good luck. He says, what do I need to know?
Well, we know you're a Virgo rising, a master. We know that Mars retrograding in your 10th is going to change the direction of your career. We know that Saturn finishing out your 6th is going to pimp your entire lifestyle. And you were born as a goat squad. So you are someone who is exceptionally very serious about the creative work and projects you put in.
Oh, 11/10.
11/10. Oops. Okay.
That might have been me, sorry.
Scorpio, it's all good.
Got it.
Oops.
18 degrees sun, Scorpio.
Ooh. So we know this eclipse is about to unlock the shit out of ya. Libra rising. Okay, so we know that there is still a shift in the direction of your career, but it's going to be more in the philosophy towards what direction you want to move in. We know that Saturn will start to pimp your lifestyle 2023 when it goes in your 6th. So this seriousness towards your creativity is Saturn unlocking your 5th. When Saturn went through my 5th in Libra, this was the first time I was serious about what I loved in life and then what I wanted to pursue. I took my artistry more serious. The coolest thing about having Saturn in Cap is that now that it's going to be in Pisces, we manifested the knowledge of it through Aqua, and now it's going to blossom. And we're going to start to see the effects of our Saturn return. And the reason why that's important for anyone born 88, 89, and 90 is that we have the greatest Saturn return of all time. So fuck every single one else of you. That's how pompous I'm gonna be. Like, suck my dick if you have a different Saturn. Like, our Saturn is the greatest. Soldier Boy has our Saturn. And The Weeknd. We're in the world of girls, it is what it is. So like, you're about to see how powerful we are, Saturn and Pisces. And I apologize for saying suck our dicks, but I will definitely say that
Women can have dicks too.
yes, metaphorically, huge veiny dicks, throbbing as well. And you can suck those dicks. So just keep that in mind. Like, this is definitely going to take the inner world. Saturn in the 4th is the authority of the inner world that you have. It's the authority of the power that you hold space for in your private world. You're going to build a lifestyle around that. Now that the knowledge of the creativity to build that lifestyle, the programming in Aquarius behind the software and the imagination in Pisces to make your dream life real. Jupiter really evolved your lifestyle from January to May. So this is going to integrate your partnerships moving forward.
This chart looks super familiar. I've read this chart before. I'm pretty
I believe
sure
myself too, yeah.
I think I've read for Joseph before because
Hades.
your chart's probably the closest to my chart that I've ever seen.
And you have a lot of pure value. So you're going to unlock all your wealth. You're a super wealthy motherfucker. Because Pluto's wealth in the second.
Look at that second house. Fucking.
You know what I'm saying?
Daddy energy.
Right. That's that dark Pluto there, especially with Saturn in the fourth. So Jupiter in the second is known for wealth, but a lot of people don't know Pluto in the second is too. It just doesn't have it as quick. Pluto in its dignity in the second means you manifest your wisdom. You're going to unlock that to find the right practical spaces to invest at and make your own currency on the market.
Sun, Venus, Pluto. How are those Uranus oppositions doing?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's cool because you're going to have Pluto hit your North Node here soon, too. Yeah. And, like, as a Scorpio, that's really significant. I feel like it's going to be unlocking something about your true creative potential and really kind of showing you, like, where that's the wealth is, that the wealth may be happiness, creativity, you know, having something that is your own, whether it's your own business, your own kid. Like, something really big is going to happen as it sits on the North Node. And it also trines your ascendant. So you're going to realize that working with other people is kind of the path forward. Mm-hmm. Jupiter in your 7th. My goodness, this is a wild chart. To have Venus and the Sun and Pluto fused together so tightly. Yeah. And to see Uranus come in and just flip everything on its side. It's like your whole value system is changing right now.
Yeah, for real.
And that's what brings in the real wealth.
Well, we're going to end with this pick a card sex reading.
Sure I didn't lose anybody. Okay, cool. So that's everybody. Thank you guys for your patience. But Mike wants to do his sex pick a card reading.
3 piles. Okay. Pile 1. Pile 2. And pile 3. Underlying theme is the devil, so...
You know it's that good.
It's that good. Toxic good or whatever, toxic or not, this is, you could be the devil. You could be that tempting influence. Someone could be addicted to you. Okay, so if you pick pile 1, we do got the 3 of swords.
It's been a long time since we pulled that card in a sex card reading.
Mm-hmm. Some of you can go back to someone who broke your heart because the dick is that good or the vagina is that good. Others of you, this could be exit smashing. Some of you, before you break up, you just have sex one more time. Others of you, this could be the devil card, infidelity, like whole card. Like this could be a thing. Now, because this is a pick a card sex reading, you could be the one that someone is cheating on. You could be the one that someone is cheating with, not cheating on. You could be the one that someone is cheating with. Because this is the pick a card sex reading. So you might not even know that the person you're having sex with is cheating on their partner with you. Or this could be a sacrifice. You could drop your hose. This is very spicy already. For pile number 2, we have the 6 of swords. So this could be some more phone sex, cyber sex. This could be...
sex bot spam.
Long distance sex box, long distance sex. Some of you, someone can travel from overseas to lay it on you. Others of you, this is cyber sex. Like, some people may send you pictures. You might get sexy there. King of Cups, this is the archetype. This is a Scorpio type figure, someone compassionate, deep. They're probably gonna cry during sex with you, but not in like a weak way, but in like a solid thug way. I don't even know.
We got some newbies in the chat, so I'm just gonna let you guys know. Mike really likes to do a pick a card sex reading.
How you gonna get?
So he'll let you know what your sex life is like for the next week. Because some people are like, "What the hell is going on? What's happening right now?" Also, somebody snuck in. We have Rachel, and I saw Pharaoh. Pharaoh, we don't have Cash App, but we have PayPal. PayPal's not working. We have Super Chat. If you want to sneak in there really quick, you can. I just saw you, or not ignoring you. And
Rachel with the Y?
Yeah.
You put her in here before, but she's not here anymore.
No, this is her. May 4th, 84. Yeah. Last call for any readings.
Oh, yeah, that's her.
Let's see. Rachel says, these eclipses are looking intense. My boyfriend feels so detached and distant. He says, everything's fine. We've just been busy. So wondering if it's almost a Still wondering if this almost 3-year relationship will go deeper or end. Do you see anything coming that might tell? Here's the deal. You're a Taurus, you're getting ready to have eclipses in Scorpio. Yeah,
Yep.
there's going to be some shit that's going to go on with your partner. It's
Yep.
inevitable. Whether you're single or you're married, like if you have a Scorpio sun or a Scorpio rising, there is relationship stuff that is on the horizon. It's going to happen. Doesn't have to be bad. Boyfriends and partners in general that are committed are going to be more so 7th house. So that would be like maybe Jupiter retrograding back into your 7th is like bringing somebody back to you, or it can be kind of bringing up this feeling of like things not being clear because it's in a sign relating to Neptune. I think that the sun can also be men. So the fact that like an eclipse is coming that's going to be literally on your sun is going to be really telling in terms of like what's going on between you and another person. You got sun opposed Saturn, so it's not unusual for you to have separation in partnerships or have people that like need space or they take a long time to kind of come through. So I get the feeling that, this eclipse it's gonna rock things. There's no real candy coating it. So you've got the Scorpio eclipse that's gonna be at 2 degrees. It's gonna oppose your Venus. Sometimes Venus opposed Venus eclipses kind of hurt because you're like, okay, it's not me, it's the other person, and like what's going on with them, and Venus is in Scorpio. So it's not as ideal if you have a natal Venus in Taurus. However, 7th house to your sun is like somebody's coming in. So pay attention to what's happening right around the end of October. Like sometimes solar eclipses do have clearing effects if somebody's not meant to stay, because this suggests it could bring in another person. Maybe. Doesn't mean that that's going to be an ending. Ending for me would be more like when you have the moon go into your 7th house and oppose or square something. So Moon Neptune kind of makes me feel like there is more room for togetherness, but it's going to come into a square with Mars. So the beginning of November is like, where is this going? Then you're going to have the lunar eclipse that's going to be right on top of your sun. And it is going to trine Jupiter. So I feel like there's room for like getting clarity. But that eclipse on the 8th is going to square Saturn in your 6th. So it can kind of bring out like what's been going on with your partner, why they've been quiet, why they haven't been reaching out, what the problem is. I don't know. What do you think about a solar eclipse in opposition to Venus? Can that be talking about like another person showing up in your life?
It could be like a crossroads.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to move forward? You want to move forward with who you have, or is it a temptation or the right step with someone else?
Mars is going to square Neptune in the 7th house literally for the next like 2 or 3 months. So take into consideration that with Mars in your 10th, it's your partner's living situation and it's squaring Neptune. So it's kind of like Neptune in the 1st, square Mars in the 4th. You don't know what direction you're going in. You're lost. You're kind of feeling sensitive and emotional. Something's going on in the home front. Likely something like that is going on with him, and that is what is actually affecting him, and he may come clean and talk to you about what's been happening. Roommate issues, family issues, problems with money, resources, realizing he has to move. These things can come up and you're going to be like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why were you hiding this information and not telling me what was going on?
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
I don't necessarily see it ending, to be honest with you. I feel like ending is going to be more when you're seeing probably like full moon type energy that's happening closer to February. That may be an ending. When the sun and Saturn come together and they oppose the moon, there's a full moon. Close to the beginning of February. And when Mars is coming back into square to Neptune. And you could go all the way to March and be like, I'm not waiting for you to tell me what's going on. I'm just going to walk. You know? And Pluto's changing signs, so it's finally leaving your whole sign 5th. So that tells me that it can be leaving and basically being like, I'm not putting my heart on the line for people anymore. But the astrology, I have to tell you, for Tauruses and Scorpios in the relationship department, what's ending is bringing something new. And in this next year, you're going to have Jupiter and Uranus hit your sun, which tells me you're in a very significant relationship in the spring. Saturn's on your descendant. They want to commit. So this could be like the last go round before you're like pickle lane. Otherwise, someone else is going to come in. Okay? Let us know what happens with those eclipses. I'm curious to hear the fact that it's hitting your Saturn, your sun, and your Venus. It's normal for you to feel like you need to kind of break away right now. Hopefully that's helpful for you, Rachel. Thank you to everybody who donated and got in for the readings. You know, sharing is caring, joining memberships. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We would not be doing this without you. We're coming up on episode 100 sometime soon. It's going to be closer to the new year, but we are coming up on it, and yeah, it's crazy. 2 seasons of the Midheaven podcast. Share this with people, get this out there, and come back to one of our lives and join us. We have new content coming out for you guys Monday about the lunar eclipse in Taurus. So hopefully you guys are ready for eclipse season. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see all of you very soon.
Beautiful.